As the group continued on, they split up again, where the veterans fought against the foot soldiers except Gemma, Gia, and Antonia, who led the Ninja Steel Rangers away. We still see how the veterans are in the top of their games. Meanwhile, the Ninja Steel Rangers Antonio and Gia located the main central computer of the teleporter. Gia and Sarah recalibrated the machine so it will directly teleport them to the morphing grid dimension. Gia took out 6 empty Ranger keys and passed them to Antonio. Antonio channels his symbol powers into the keys so the keys are set to absorb the Ninja Steel powers. Gia warned them, there is a monster within the morphing grid, corrupting the powers. She believes Thrax placed this minion inside. Each Ninja Steel Ranger took the Ranger keys and entered the portal. There the team seized the Ninja Steel powers. However, Antonio and Gia were then approached by the Yellow Draconian Ranger. Antonio and Gia tried to fight against them, but the Yellow Draconian Ranger was able to counter their attacks very easily. Dimensions in Danger Part 2. The Rangers were questioned by the physical embodiment of the Ninja Steel powers as an armored metallic ninja on why they should have their powers returned back to them. Brody exclaimed they need the powers to fight evil. Preston says the powers are always used for good and not selfish gains. Haley said the powers don't exclusively belong to the Ranger, but to all the people they are protecting. Sarah said the Ninja Steel powers are earned, not given. They did not even master the powers until the powers accepted them, as seen in Season 1. Calvin said the powers taught them how to be better people. Levi said Ninja Steel power stops monsters, even the monsters within people, including himself. The Ninja Steel powers then challenges them to battle to see if they are worthy. However, the Rangers, even though they have their powers temporarily returned back to them, are no match against the Ninja Steel powers. Thus, the Ninja Steel powers decide to send them to a trial of helplessness, stripping their powers away again. The Rangers were then transported to a regular-looking pocket dimension. Thinking the trial means fighting while being powerless, Brody decided to split the team up and look for the monster. Back in their escape route, the veterans easily defeated the foot soldiers, but they will need all the help they can get. Then the group was encountered by the Red Draconian Ranger. The veteran Rangers easily tied to the Draconian Ranger, but they were still recovering from their capture. It was a standoff. Thus, Wes instructed the team to leave. He blasted the ground to create a smoke diversion. The group escaped. Wes stated Jen has been developing a new prototype Zord. Trent also said he was building a Zord under Tommy's guidance. The two decided to head to the communications relay to see if they could remotely send their Zords to where they are at. Meanwhile, at the morphing grid, no monsters can be found. Calvin and Haley passed by a woman who dropped her wedding ring into a sewer drain, so they decided to stay behind and help. The rest of the Rangers arrived at a chemical lab to see if there are any monsters in sight. Seeing a scientist struggling in her lab work, Preston decided to assist the girl in her chemistry project in passing her equipment and use magic to aid her. Walking down the lab, the rest of the Ranger found two guys accidentally got their hairs glued together while trying to discover a new formula for hair gel. Brody, Levi, and Sarah tried to find solvent to release the two boys from the glue compound. After helping those people out, the team regrouped and reported to each other there are no monsters found. In a flash, the Ranger Steel powers approached them and said they have passed the test of helplessness. Confused, Brody asked why. The powers explained that it was not because of their strength, but because of their selfless acts that makes them worthy to be Rangers and continue having these ninja powers. Otherwise, the Ranger powers could be bestowed to bullies who can bench press a monster. There, the Ninja Steel Ranger keys are bestowed to the Rangers. But when that happened, Thrax's lackey appeared. Apparently, he was placed there to ensure the Ninja Steel Rangers never received their powers. The Ninja Steel Rangers fought side by side with the embodiment of the Ninja Steel powers. After destroying the minion, the 6 Rangers exited the portal. However, rather than Gia and Antonio congratulating the Rangers with open arms, Gia and Antonio demanded the Ninja Steel Rangers to run for it. With the 5 Rangers keeping the Yellow Draconian Rangers busy, Gia hesitated but then summoned all the past Yellow Ranger powers and went into blitz against the Yellow Ranger. She also used the Beast Morpher Yellow Ranger key. The Draconian Yellow Ranger fell on its knees as if akin to a prayer. Without warning, the Yellow Draconian Rangers blasted at the Ranger with energy bursting out of its hands. The room was then empty. In the hallway, we see the Ninja Steel Rangers actually using their ninja illusions to fool the Yellow Draconian Ranger, running to join the rest of the others. Congratulating the Rangers, Gia and Antonio said their trial of earning the powers is the way of the Ranger. Antonio said he has to prove to his team that he is not playing samurai to become a proper Ranger, but to show his dedication and the will to act. Gia said her powers were gained through resolution of strong will. Since her team Megaforce were teenagers, Gosi has to train their team to have strong will. Without the will, their team would never have been able to control their powers. The Ninja Steel Rangers thanked the veterans for helping them. They were then greeted by Koda, Rocky, Kat, who said TJ, Tommy, Gemma, and Wes, Trent, are trying to send in their prototype Zords. Since their communicators were jammed, that's why the three Rangers came to them. Knowing about using the Nexus Prism to end this battle entirely, Rocky told the Rangers to split up to find the Nexus Prism before Thrax harnessed its final power. The group is split up into Sarah, Kat, Coda, and Preston, and the other group is Haley, Levi, Brody, Calvin, and Rocky. Following Dimensions in Danger Part 3, Calvin learns more about his father, Rocky. Even though Rocky had voluntarily gave up his role as a Ranger, he never gave up his Ranger duties. The Turbo Zords were actually designed by him alongside with Billy. He has worked for the Rangers in Shadows. And additionally, after the events of Power Rangers in Space, Rocky restored the Turbo Zords and Turbo Powers. This made Calvin admire his father a lot. Then the two encountered Green Draconian Ranger. Rocky uses Zeo Blue Tomfest beating it up with Calvin's help, tag teaming against it. Rocky then morphs into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Red, and the two use their swords to knock the Draconian Ranger backwards, but the three were tied. Rocky showed Calvin a trick. As the Green Draconian Rangers fighting Rocky and Calvin, turns out he was only fighting the duplicate illusion of the two. They escaped the diversion. While Gemma and Tommy were trying to recalibrate the Zords for their arrival, we see TJ's leadership skills from Turbo directing Wes and Trent to defend entrances to prevent the Pink Draconian Ranger from entering. TJ also used a Master Morpher and switched between his Speedster Turbo powers and his in-space Brutax strength against the Neo Moogers. They also found the controls and disabled the production of the additional Draconian Ranger. We see more bonding moments between Coda and Preston, how the two were able to fight alongside each other and be a perfect team, scouting for the Nexus Prism as they were hunted by the Blue Draconian Ranger. We also see Preston using his wits to use magic to transform themselves into Neo Moogers to infiltrate. Sarah and Kat also have a bonding moment. Kat and Sarah fought side by side against Pink Draconian Ranger. Sarah asked Kat to use her Zeo Power Shield to launch her. Kat used her shield and then launched Sarah directly against the Draconian Ranger Pink. The Draconian Ranger was slammed against a wall, and Kat switched to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink and used arrows to pin the Draconian Ranger to the wall. But it's not holding the Draconian Ranger down, so Kat used her turbo powers and grabbed Sarah to rush out of there. Kat praised Sarah for her bravery and intelligence, which she saw so much of Billy's spirit in Sarah. But finding the Nexus Prism is like a maze. They each eventually get separated, but the Ninja Steel Ranger ended up in the middle of the maze. The middle of the maze is a pocket dimension, which looks like the Sanji River. Without warning, Thrax showed up. Sarah said it was impossible because her detector showed that the Nexus Prism should be in the middle of the maze. Thrax said he absorbed the Ninja Steel and it gave him powers to merge the Nexus Prism into his armor. He was then approached by the 6 Draconian Rangers. Thrax boasted he had used the Ninja Steel power to tap into the Morphin Grid, powering up his minions with the knowledge of captured veteran Rangers, and used Zordon stolen suits for Mighty Morphin Season 2. He was even able to access across all the Ranger universes and clone the suit of an evil version of Tommy. Thrax also bragged that he has captured and brainwashed Tom Oliver, a clone of Tommy Oliver back in Season 2, who was living. The Rangers fought against this team of Draconian Rangers head-on, but they were no match. The Draconian Rangers basically knocked the Ninja Steel Rangers out of commission easily.